Procrastination. It's like a dandelion. Pull it up and think you got it. But it turns out the roots are so deep it just grows back.
This metaphor, shared by a student in UC Berkeley procrastination group, perfectly describes how stubborn procrastination can be. Many people assume procrastination happens because someone is lazy or bad at time management, but psychologists Jane Gorka and Leonora Yuen explains that procrastination is actually a complex psychological issue rooted in fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of not meeting one's own expectations. Research supports this deeper cause in a review nearly 800 studies by Stell explains that people procrastinate when task feels unpleasant, when success feels uncertain, and when the brain chooses short-term relief over a long-term rewards. And according to James Clear, procrastination is not immoral weakness. It is a result of the brain prioritizing mood regulations. We delay tasks because we want to avoid discomfort and not because we don't care. In this talk, we will explore what procrastination really is, why it happens, and why it can start by doing again to break the cycle. By understanding its roots, we can finally learn how to pull out the dandelion for good.
Procrastination isn't just laziness. It's deeply connected to how our mind works. In behavioral psychology, we often struggle between our present self, who wants comfort now, and our future self, who cares about long-term goals. This flash explains why we choose quick rewards over things like saving money or starting important tasks. Studies show that 70% to 75% of people procrastinate regularly, and 15% to 20% of adults do so chronically. Chronic procrastination can negatively affect our physical, psychological, and emotional well-being. For students, long-term procrastination has been linked to physical health issues, increased stress, and heightened anxiety. Over time, these effects can accumulate and significantly impact academic performance, relationships, and overall life satisfaction. A recent study comparing four different therapeutic interventions found that cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, produced the most effective results for reducing procrastination. CBT is a therapeutic approach that examines the connection between our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. When applied to procrastination, it helps individuals recognize unhelpful thinking patterns and replace them with healthier, goal-oriented strategies. CBT helps individuals challenge unhelpful thinking patterns, such as perfectionism, with the belief that they must feel motivated first, and replace them with more realistic, encouraging thoughts. It also uses practical behavioral strategies like task chunking, which breaks large tasks into smaller, manageable steps, making them less overwhelming. Another powerful technique is the 5 minute rule, which encourages starting a task with just 5 minutes to reduce resistance and create momentum. CPT also emphasizes the behavioral activation, which means taking action even when we don't feel like it, and pairing effort with small, immediate rewards to counter our brain's tendency to prefer instant gratification. By combining healthier thinking with structured, doable actions, CPD helps people build consistent habits and reduce the emotional barriers that fuel procrastination.
In conclusion, procrastination is far more complex than simply being late. As Burka and Newell emphasize, its roots often lie in deep-seated fears, which are fear of failure, judgment, and not meeting internal expectations. Behavioral research further shows that conflict between our present and future selves leads us to prioritize short-term comfort over long-term goals. This tendency is reinforced by the brain's natural desire to regulate mood and avoid discomfort. Which James Clear explains is the real reason people delay tasks and not a lack of care or discipline. The emotional and psychological impact of procrastination is significant. affecting stress levels, health, and overall well being, especially among students. Fortunately, research based strategies like cognitive behavioral therapy offer effective solutions. CBT addresses the distorted thoughts and overwhelming emotions that often trigger procrastination and replaces them with realistic thinking and practical tools such as task tracking, behavioral activation, and the 5-minute rule. By understanding the psychological mechanisms behind procrastination and applying proven techniques, we can begin to pull out the dandelion from its roots and create healthier, more productive habits. Overcoming procrastination is not about perfection, but it is about awareness, emotional understanding, and taking small, consistent steps toward long term change.